Columns is a tile-matching puzzle game developed and published by Sega, released in 1990 for the arcade, the Mega Drive, Master System, and Game Gear. It's also available on the Atari ST, PC Engine, and MSX2, but we're looking at the original Mega Drive version. The objective doesn't even need to be explained by me. The tutorial on the how-to pops up after you pass the menu screen. Unlike Tetris where you're lining up shapes, or tetraminos, to eliminate horizontal lines without gaps, you need to get 3 or more jewels of the same color in line horizontally, vertically, or diagonally. Every once in a while you'll get a magic column that can eliminate all the jewels of the same color if you land on that color. As you advance through the levels, dual alignments are worth more points but columns fall down faster, and that's when it starts to become challenging. One moment you're in the zone, next thing you're struggling to make patterns, and once you reach the top, game over. I usually struggle when I reach level 7 and beyond. It gets to the point where columns slam instantly. It's all about chain reaction, thinking ahead and setting up potential combos for more points. Apparently there's a Guinness World Record for the highest score. Kudos to Keith Danforth for hitting the counter limit of 99,999,989. Wow, I'd be really bored after hitting 500,000. What we're currently looking at is the arcade mode, which is pretty faithful, but there's also a mode to create your own gameplay style with a few difficulty, speed and music options. So if you found the arcade mode too hard, just reduce the number of jewel colors. This is how I got to level 100 once. There's even a mode called Flash Column where you have to destroy the shiny jewel on the bottom of the screen as quickly as possible. You can alter the number of lines and jewel colors to start with. I found this mode the most addictive and set it on the hardest possible difficulty to see if it could be done. Columns doesn't offer much variety, but then how do you add variety in an early 90s puzzle game as simple as this one? Columns sets itself in the Phoenician timeline. Now seeing lots of colors especially back in 1990 looks cool, but the overall presentation is lacking. The whole game uses backgrounds with 2 separate ones in the menu and a checkerboard in-game. That's it. It kind of looks like an unlicensed Bible game. The music, well, nostalgic to me because I played this so much as a kid. In fact, this is one of the first video games I've ever played. It's actually not that good. It's so boring. It makes me feel like I'm inside a dark room and using matchsticks to light the way. And look at the back cover. How can you write so much about a game with so little? You don't have to be a joystick whiz to excel, even at the hardest levels. Well, I just proved otherwise. Imagine yourself on the warm Mediterranean coast, or drifting over a languid sea. Very clever. But it's the last thing I'd imagine playing Columns. Was this game made to capitalize on the success of Tetris? Yes, very likely. That game sold over 30 million copies on the Game Boy alone, and Columns was released a year later. Puzzle games were made to be played on the go. Only if it had a storyline like Myst or Portal do they belong on a home console or PC. There is a Game Gear port and unofficial clones on the App Store, so there are portable versions of Columns. Actually, speaking of Tetris, it's also worth noting that buying a Game Boy with Tetris cost less than buying a Game Gear with Columns at the time, so the choice for consumers was obvious. This is probably the most unexciting game I've ever reviewed, but compared to other popular puzzle games like Tetris, Dr. Mario and Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, Columns is worth checking out in short spans, but only if you're a huge fan of the genre or a collector of Sega Mega Drive games. What it lacks in presentation sort of makes up for it with the puzzle mechanics. Not a very climactic conclusion, right?